Most people think trading psychology is about being calm or confident or just not feeling any emotion at all. That's already the wrong frame. Your psychology isn't broken because you feel fear or hesitation. It breaks because your nervous system is responding to perceived threats, and markets trigger threat responses by design. Trading psychology isn't mindset, it's how your body reacts under uncertainty, risk, and delayed reward. If you don't understand that, well then you'll just keep trying to think your way out of reactions that don't even come from the thought in the first place. Now, once I get more experience, my psychology will improve. Now, this sounds logical, and yeah, to some degree it may make sense, but it's actually false, because experience doesn't necessarily improve psychology. However, correctly processed experience does. And if experience alone fixed psychology, well then every trader with 3 to 5+ years in the market would be consistent. However, they're not, and some of you will probably resonate to that, because repetition without regulation trains stress patterns, not skill. And every time that you trade oversized, hesitate, revenge trade, or panic close a position, your nervous system is learning that behavior, not unlearning it. And experience without guidance reinforces bad wiring. Now, you don't wake up one day and suddenly lose discipline. Loss of control is actually pretty predictable, and it happens when your risk exceeds your emotional tolerance, your outcome matters too much, your identity is attached to being right, and your system leaves room for interpretation under pressure. And when your stress spikes, your brain doesn't ask what's the correct trade, it actually asks how do I make this feeling stop. That's not a mindset issue, that's actually a biological response. Entering early isn't impatience, it's anticipatory anxiety, and overtrading after a loss isn't actually anger, it's your nervous system trying to regain control. Closing when it's too early isn't fear of winning, it's threat avoidance once money becomes emotionally real. Letting losers run isn't hope, it's actually a freeze response. Forcing trades to feel productive isn't discipline, it's discomfort with stillness. Now, these are not character flaws, they are stress responses. The market doesn't care if you're wrong, it only exposes what you do when uncertainty hits. Two traders can take the same loss, one will shrug the shoulders and wait, and the other will spiral and blow a week's worth of progression. Same trade, different internal regulation. The edge isn't avoiding losses, it's remaining neurologically stable after them. Now, this is the part that no one actually talks about. If your identity is, I am a good trader when I win, then every loss becomes a threat to who you think that you are. Your brain will fight that threat by forcing, trades, by avoiding stops, by needing a validation from the market. And consistent traders don't identify as winners, they identify as executors of a process. So if you detach your identity from outcome, your psychology stabilizes naturally anyway. Now, discipline is not willpower. Willpower is a finite cognitive resource. It collapses under stress. That's why discipline always breaks during drawdowns, after a string of losses, when your position size increases, when external pressure exists outside of trading. And if your system relies on you being disciplined 100% of the time, it will fail. Elite traders design environments where discipline isn't really required, aka a pretty, rule-based, data-backed approach, like the way I trade, the V1 system. Now, this is crucial. Under stress, the thinking part of your brain goes offline. The prefrontal cortex, logic, planning, rules, shuts down. The limbic system takes over, so affirmations, mindset talks, and motivation do nothing in the moment it matters. And psychology will only improve through repetition, constraint, exposure, predictability, not thinking. Rules become non-negotiable, not through discipline, but because there's no ambiguity. Losses are expected because your system accounts for them before that you trade. Risk is boring and fixed, so your nervous system doesn't spike. Trades are binary, so there's no internal debate. Processes, matters more than outcome because outcomes are delayed, and delayed feedback destroys emotional stability. And this is how you regulate behavior before your emotions even appear. Now, don't get me wrong, winning is intermittent, execution is repeatable. Your nervous system can't stabilize around outcomes. They are random in the short term, but it can stabilize around execution. When execution becomes the goal, pressure drops, and less pressure equals fewer emotional reactions. Markets are excellent teachers, but they don't explain why you failed. Without guidance, traders just invent stories. I need a better strategy. I wasn't confident. I hesitated. I need to learn the next new trending concept. And most of the time, the real issue is actually just misaligned risk and emotional capacity. So whereas guidance from myself, for example, shortens the learning loops, so to speak. That's what accelerates your psychology. So if you want better psychology, stop trying to feel confident, stop trying to remove emotion, and start designing trades your nervous system can tolerate. Psychology doesn't improve when you feel ready. It improves when your system makes reactions unnecessary. You don't find discipline, you build it through repetition under controlled conditions. You don't wake up consistent, you train consistency. The same way athletes train stress tolerance. And if trading feels heavy, chaotic, or emotional, then something in your system or process is misaligned, and it's not your mindset, not your process. Okay, so if you can fix the inputs, the psychology will follow. And if you do want real hands-on coaching from a 9-year trading veteran with a data-backed strategy, well then check out the links in the description. But with that being said, thank you so much for watching if you're still here, and I'll see you in the next video.